GoPros and action cams are neat little things that you can take to the paintball field to capture your best moments. But unfortunately, GoPros have had this reputation that they're tedious for paintball and the head strap is very unstable, and even when you stabilize the video it looks like it's underwater. It's a mess. Fortunately, I know two mounting systems that work well. The first one is the on top of the head mount, which is what I like to call it. And the key piece to this is a plastic piece. It can be from a CD, it could be from a plastic container, it can really be from anything. What you want here is just something for the adhesive clip for your GoPro to stick to. Because if you try attaching that to the top of your mask, you're going to have a very difficult time because your mask has foam on it, it has different levels of venting for breathability, so you want something that's flat and smooth for it to attach to. You can choose to drill 2 holes onto it to attach it under your mask, and then use Uhu. Tons and tons of Uhu. That stuff loves plastic, and it sticks it together very firmly after a couple of hours of drying. And in case you do tie down that small plastic piece we talked about before inside the mask, if the Uhu does break off, which is very unlikely, your mask will be attached to the mount, so you're not losing your camera, which would be a very unfortunate thing if it happened in the woods. Now this setup is all about allowing the viewer to see. So a 1080p resolution at 60 frames per second with a medium angle view will allow the viewer to see what you're shooting at more clearly than a wide angle view, and the 60 frames per second definitely help. And something else, if you want people to see at all, you're gonna have to train yourself to keep the loader out of your forehead. Just tilt your head or tilt your gun a bit more. Anything you can do to keep the loader away from your forehead, because that's where the camera will be, obviously. Now, contrary to popular belief, there is a way to mount the GoPro on the side of your mask that does not require the good old elbow. Now, if you are using the elbow, it's totally fine, it works perfectly. Use the same settings we had before. But if you're trying this vertical contraption, keep in mind you might need some editing skills to get through this because, well, let me explain. Since it's set vertically, it's going to record sideways. So we need a larger resolution, and it's by default at the wide angle. So we're going to sacrifice a bit of our frame rate, but that doesn't really matter. 48 frames per second looks just fine. I mean, movies run at 24 anyway. So when we plug this into the computer, it's going to look like this, and that's not watchable. So we're going to rotate it, and that's still not that watchable. It's lots of junk that we don't want to really look at. So we're going to crop in, and this is what our end result is going to look like. And as you can see, it'll look just like the elbow. The resolution is going to be a bit lower. It's above 720p, less than 1080, and the frame rate is at 48. But it does the job, it looks good, and it works.